Hello there, this is John from mybrainongames.com, also known as John the Gamer or Anonymous John. I'm here today to play Gunblade New York, Special Air Assault Force. It is available on the Wii in a Sega compilation combining it and its sequel of sorts, LA Machineguns Rise of the Machines. This is a compilation of two arcade games, arcade hits pack as you can see there. You'd probably find these in your movie theater or your mall in the late 90s, mid 90s. These are shoot 'em up games. They had actual peripherals that you'd use to shoot at the screen, but because of that, it makes a great fit for the Wii, using the Wii remote, whatnot, or the Wii Zapper if you so choose. But that's just a piece of plastic, I guess, just to replicate the authentic arcade feel. But I'm not going to bother. And I bought the Zapper the day it came out. I think I got the compilation, not compilation, the combo pack that included it and that Zelda game. I got to tell you, I probably used that Wii Zapper like 2 or 3 times before I realized, yeah, I don't really need to use this. This is just a piece of plastic. It can be fun, but also it's kind of like, yeah, I'm not going to spend that minute sitting here trying to set up this controller dongle whenever just using the Wiimote by itself works fine and probably a little better. And to be fair, this game doesn't require use of the nunchuck, it's Wiimote specific, so definitely not going to bother this time around. So let's see, this game came out sometime in the mid-90s, late 90s. We can see it was set in the future, which is now our past. It's set in 2005, New York City. I tell you, I don't know if the game looked this crisp and clean in the original arcade, but if it did, this was a pretty stellar looking game back in the day. You gotta think, this is the era PlayStation, N64, Sega Saturn to a lesser extent. Whenever I look back on that period, I think it kind of shadowed. Maybe I'm just thinking of the N64 more than anything, but I'm thinking just tons and tons of fog. Or in the case of early PlayStation games, just like real bad polygonal graphics. This is all polygonal graphics, but it looks pretty colorful, looks pretty sharp, looks pretty crisp. Then again, it could just be this port. We'll go ahead and start off with this easy mode. Oh, and the Wiimote has a little volume. A little speaker action. Now, I did play a little bit of this the other night just to kind of check it out. A friend and I played through this, and I think it took us less than 10 minutes. That's why I decided I'll do a video myself. And one thing that was kind of lame about this, I'm literally just holding down the fire button. There is no reloading. Ammo is not limited. At least, in this home port of it. Maybe in the arcade version there was some reloading mechanic or something like that. It's not present here. And in fact, after we played through this easy stage of Gunblade New York, we unlocked a rapid fire. I'm using the rapid fire right now. Here's the non-rapid fire. Okay, there's normal. That's still pretty rapid fire to me. Rapid fire, yeah, you do get so you do shoot maybe a couple more bullets, but that normal mode was pretty rapid fire. One thing that I did not like about this game, I'm kind of coming around on, these enemies. It seems like they're very hard to hit, just because they're bouncing around. And you do get a little feedback whenever you hit them in the rumble of the Wiimote. So okay, I'm striking this guy, that's good, I'm hitting him. Sometimes it's hard to tell, though, because they're bouncing around. Okay, we've got a boss here. Sometimes they're bouncing around and you're not really getting that tactile feedback from the rumble, it seems like. I don't know if that doesn't hit every time, or if I'm just a poor shot and not hitting them. Probably I'm a poor shot and not hitting them. What I've learned to do is focus on one end. Maybe not in this situation since it's just a boss fight, but whenever you're fighting groups of enemies, which is pretty much every scenario, just hone in on one end. That way you can focus on getting him shot. Oh yeah, this game's at least somewhat revised from the original release, Sonic and the Black Knight, I'll add. That was like the second Sonic game on the Wii. Never played it. I played the first one, Sonic and the Secret Rings. Got that maybe a year or two after it originally released. Got it used, pretty cheap. It was cool. I didn't play much of it. It's kind of play poorly like most Sonic games do. But yeah, I think the trick is just focus in on one enemy and don't get bothered with the others. I mean, definitely shoot those giant bazookas that I got coming at me so I don't take damage, but hone in on one enemy. Because the way the game works, I'm not controlling the camera, and the camera's not really on a set path. It's on a set path insofar as it's trying to go through the stage until you get to this little like wave of enemies. Then it kind of determines, okay, you're kind of focusing in on this one, so we're going to go ahead and follow and kind of hone in on this one as well. So that's kind of cool. And once you learn that, then you actually learn, okay, I just need to focus on this one enemy, and the game gets a little less tedious. I take that back. The game is tedious. It just gets a little more manageable. Especially whenever you play single player. Whenever you play with 2 people, it's not hard at all. Especially, it's rapid fire, unlimited ammo, 2 guns going. Like I said, we beat it in 10 minutes, maybe less. I then played the hard mode, which we're just playing easy again. And hard by myself, it took a while. I don't want to say it, but 20 minutes? Even then, though, that's not a long time. And personally, I don't have any nostalgia for this game. I never played this game. I never heard of it. I got it just because I'm crazy and I think I collect video games just because I have a crap ton of them. And I really like compilations. Now, I'm not the type... See, there, it took some damage. I'm not the type to get all kind of nitpicky about wanting the arcade perfect port or whatnot. That's great and all. I do want that, but if I can have just a crap ton of games, that's cool too. My friend and I, we had a little video game competition where we tried to compete against each other in every video game we owned across our 2 collections. And because of that, I went out and bought just a ton of compilations. Just so we could extend that competition. We never completed it. I'd love to return to it, but I mean, at this point, I have, if I'm counting actual physical things, I have like 1,700, 1,800 games, or 1,700 discs. If you break out the compilations and stuff, I got 22 to 2,500, something like that. And that's just me. That's not counting him. He's got a healthy collection as well. But, I mean, I think that's one of the best things about video games is experiencing them with other people. Myself, personally, my tastes kind of skew towards quirky Japanese games. That's kind of why I like this. This is a game from the era when Japanese developers were arguably on top, albeit this is an arcade game when arcades were not up top. Maybe games like this is why. But, I mean, it's a fun game. Sit through and play with your friends. Takes like an hour to get through all this, and then maybe an hour to get through all of its sequel. I haven't played the sequel, LA Machineguns, yet. I'm looking forward to checking that out. I think that came out a couple years later, so it might have graphics that rival the Dreamcasts, whereas this rivals the Saturn. But like I said earlier, these graphics are pretty stellar, I'd say, for its time. Focus in on one of these guys at a time. Yeah, and I don't know if you can really tell, but they're hopping around. Whenever they get hit by my bullets, they kind of just start getting shaken up. But it also looks like they're jumping around, kind of dodging my bullets, and that's what I was talking about earlier when I was saying it's kind of hard to tell if you're actually hitting the enemy, if you're doing damage. Yes, you get this rumble, this tactile feedback whenever you are hitting them. I guess that's the indicator that, okay, I'm actually hitting them, and they're just getting bounced around from the bullets and the damage they're taking. And they're not just jumping around and evading my bullets. I gotta focus in on that thing, whatever it's doing. Is it breaking into the building? Or just running into that wall right there? And I gotta say, I'm in a helicopter right now. This is a pretty agile helicopter. The maneuvers this pilot is doing. Incredible. This is what I imagine my local news helicopter pilot did before becoming a news helicopter pilot. I know ours here in the Tulsa area, I want to say he was a member of the military, member of the National Guard, something like that. I wonder if that is the just career path for helicopter pilots. Once you pretty much go to the military, you're enlisted for a time period. Once you get out of that, if you choose to, you say, okay, what can I do in the private world? I'm gonna be I'm gonna work for a news company, news station. Maybe if you live in an area with lots of farmland, you can monitor crops. We drop pesticide with helicopters still. Is that something we still do? Continue on with the police force. That'd be a natural evolution. I'm sure there's firefighters as well whenever you're putting out fires, especially on the West Coast and California, places like that. I'm sure there's a lot you can do after if you are a helicopter pilot in the military. Alright, so we got an A on that. Destroy the terrorists' headquarters. They've decided to make their headquarters on a commercial freighter. Who are these terrorists? And why are there gigantic anti-air turrets installed on this commercial freighter? Whenever my friend and I were playing, we couldn't help but notice these water effects. Like, look at that. I can't tell if that's good or bad, but I do know that I just really, really love it. I just want to sit here and keep on shooting in the water. Just ignore these enemies altogether. It wouldn't really be to my detriment, I guess. I think, just like we have unlimited ammo, I think we have unlimited health, or, excuse me, not unlimited health, we can take 3 hits, but unlimited continues is what I believe. And that's par for the course for home ports of arcade games, at least on compilations. I don't know if that was the case back in the day during like the SNES era, NES era. Can't say I've played too many arcade ports from that era or those eras. I know on compilations that's definitely a thing, but I'm just pretty much unlimited lives, unlimited credits. Alright, knocked him into the sea, so he is not going to be a threat. And I know this game does have some sort of unlockables. Maybe an unlockable system. I know, Sega put out Ghost Squad on the Wii pretty early on, like 2000, I want to say like 2007, 2008. I guess that's not really early on. Wii came out in 2006. Yeah, it's pretty early. And I know it has a full-fledged arcade unlockable system. I need to sit here and focus on what follow my own advice. Final area. More than halfway done. We're going to keep on. It has a full-on unlockable system with tons and tons of unlockables. I've played through that game like twice. Got a couple of unlockables. I know there's a lot of costumes. I haven't unlocked much myself. But this game, it kind of makes me wonder, well, did Sega also implement an unlockable system in here? I know I got this rapid fire. There's, of course, not going to be costumes. This is all taking place from the first-person perspective. Maybe there's a variety of weapons to get. Maybe you can get different enemy skins. I don't know. Something tells me it's probably not going to be as feature-rich as Ghost Squad is. I'd like to think I'm doing pretty good for sitting here and talking, playing this by myself. I'm going to continue twice. Then again, this is easy, so I mean, kind of what would you expect? Okay, this last enemy. Oh, we got more. Oh, well, that guy. It's like he's just trying to run off the edge. I should just let him jump off. The other guy pretty much did for me.
Warning.
Okay. It kind of takes the fun out of it, but I realized, you know what? I have unlimited continues to my knowledge, and never ran out of continues. I'm not really going to focus on what he's shooting at me. I'm just going to shoot him. And just keep on continuing. basically fighting a giant, shitty virtual on mech. Man, wouldn't it suck if he had unlimited continues? Just sit here, never-ending game. Alright, well, we destroyed their headquarters that were... They decided to station on a commercial frigate, commercial freighter. Overall ranking 9th. This game's got a time histogram. Alright, I gotta enter my initials. J. H. E. I tried to get that up to the mic to see if you could hear it. I don't know if you could hear it. There's the voices coming out of the Wiimote microphone. Alright, right on. Liberty, freedom, all that stuff. Killing terrorists. Special Air Assault Force, the SAAF. Gunblade New York original staff. Now, I believe this game was developed by Sega AM2 or Sega AM3. One of Sega's internals. One of Sega's internal studios. Sega AM2, I want to say they're the powerhouse at Sega, or they were for a long time. Virtua Fighter series being one of their most prominent outputs, but if you just look at the list of the games that came out of Sega AM2, it's just astonishing. Mostly arcade games, specifically that era, like middle 80s to late 90s. The stuff that they put out, it's like, geez, this is like all of Sega's catalog, or all what you would imagine Sega's great catalog. But I want to say this is them too, and this is probably not up there with the stellar stuff like Virtua Fighter. But anyways, looks like it took me about 15 minutes to beat the easy stage of Gunblade New York. And I think I will call it quits there. I'll probably do a hard playthrough as well, just so we can bookend this game and get a little bit of everything. And I think there's also a time attack mode I may check out. I haven't played that, so that would be new for me. But anyways, this was John from MyBrainOnGames.com. You can check me out there. Check me out, John the Gamer, Anonymous John. All over the place. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.